Uzbekistan, a jewel of traditions and heritage. Uzbekistan has ancient history and traditions within itself. Before the spread of Islam in the world, it was part of the Persian Empire. Only after the advent of Islam, after the era of the Rashidun Caliphate, some areas of this country became part of the Islamic Empire and Islam began to spread in this region. In the 11th century, Genghis Khan and his army shook the roots of Uzbekistan and laid the foundation of the Mongol Empire here. The part of the Mongol Empire that was most influential is called Bukhara. Even today, in Bukhara, signs of the tyranny of the Mongol rulers can be seen. After the Mongol Empire, the Islamic era began again under the leadership of Amir Temur. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest military leaders and tacticians in history as he conquered 42 countries during his lifetime. One of the secrets behind his victory was that he used both hands during the war. He had a sword in one hand and an axe in the other. After the Timurid state, the empire began to split. Most of the Central Asia was conquered by Uzbeks by 1510 AD, and Uzbekistan also came under those areas. Parts of Uzbekistan were conquered by the Iranian king Nadir Shah from 1729 to 1739 AD, but soon the occupied territories were recaptured by the Uzbeks. The state established from 1785 to 1920 AD was known as the Emirate of Bukhara. The empire, which was restored from the Russian Federation on April 1920, was called the Bukharan People's Soviet Republic. Name of the empire remained until 1991 when the Soviet Union collapsed. The Bukharan People's Soviet Republic existed from 1920 to 1924 when the city was integrated into the Uzbek Soviet Socialist Republic. In 1924, the empire was renamed the Bukhari Soviet Socialist Republic. On September 19, 1991, Uzbekistan declared independence from Russia, and on December 8, 1991, Uzbekistan emerged as an independent country but gained practical independence on December 22, 1991. With this independence, the country was renamed as the Republic of Uzbekistan, which was adopted by the United Nations on March 1992. The country's first constitution was introduced on December 8, 1992. Since then, attempts to break Uzbekistan have continued. Uzbek people believe that the United States is behind this unrest in the country, but it is God's will that keeps the country safe. The Republic of Uzbekistan is a double landlocked country in Central Asia. It is surrounded by 5 landlocked countries: Kazakhstan to the north, Kyrgyzstan to the northeast, Tajikistan to the southeast, Afghanistan to the south, Turkmenistan to the southwest. Its capital and largest city is Tashkent, with a population of about 2.5 million. It is known for its many museums and its mix of modern and Soviet-era architecture. With a population of 35,300,000, Uzbekistan ranks 41st in the world. 89% of the population is Muslim, while 5% is Christian, and the remaining 16% is devout. According to the statistics, around 103,000 Jews were settled here till 1970 AD, but all these people migrated to Israel after 1980 AD. The currency of Uzbekistan is called Som. The Uzbek language is derived from Turkish. Uzbek is the national and official language. Turkish speakers consider this language as Urdu-speaking Hindi. After Uzbek, Russian language is also very dominant here. Many documents are written in Russian, so it would not be wrong to say that Russian is the second official language here. There are also a large number of Tajik speakers in Uzbekistan. 83% of the country's population is of Uzbek descent, while 4.8% is of Tajik descent. Soccer is one of the most popular sports here. Uzbek people also like to play basketball, ice hockey, rugby union, handball, and cycling. The literacy rate in Uzbekistan is 99.3%. It is the 4th largest country in the world in terms of gold reserves and produces 80 tons of gold yearly. Uzbekistan ranks 10th in terms of copper reserves and 12th in terms of uranium. Uzbekistan ranks 11 in world for gas production. Oil also plays an important role in the Uzbek economy. Ample sunlight, mild winters of short duration, fertile irrigated soil, and good pastures make Uzbekistan suitable for cattle raising and cultivation cultivation of cotton. Uzbekistan is the world's second largest cotton producer. It ranks fifth in terms of production. China is Uzbekistan's largest partner in the energy sector. Agriculture also plays an important role in the development of this country. Hydroelectric dams on its Sirdarya and Naran and the Chirchik rivers help augment the country's nuclear, coal, and petroleum power generation of electricity. These are all aspects that the US is now looking at Uzbekistan after Afghanistan. Bukhara, Samarkand, and Khiva are three cities that are becoming part of the Silk Road through Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is the most tourist-friendly country in the Central Asia and an unmissable destination for sightseeing city lovers. It has opened its borders to show the world the majesty of the ancient Silk Road. In addition to the 5 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, Uzbekistan is a country filled with impressive shrines, mosques, and perfectly shaped old cities. Most of Uzbekistan's population lives in rural areas. This country is rich in natural resources, but the wealth is only in control of the politicians and a few thousand elite people, while the rest of the people are forced to live below the poverty line. The local are fond of keeping livestock. Uzbeks are known around the world for their cultural and traditional songs. The women here help in running the house by embroidering clothes. The colors of Uzbek culture can be seen on these dresses. The women here are far from the new fashions of the world. However, they look very beautiful in their traditional clothes. The darker side of this country tells the story of water scarcity, which has been intensified in Uzbekistan. More than half of the rivers here have been dried up and become a picture of barren land. In some areas underground, water is also found at great depths, and the process of extraction is quite costly. People are facing acute shortage of water due to lack of finances, and the agriculture profession seems to be dying. Here, annual agricultural production depends on rainfall. Winters come here for a very brief time, and heat prevails almost all the year round. As Uzbekistan is a Muslim country, its laws are strict. Gambling, drinking, and enslavement are strictly prohibited. Smoking is also prohibited in children under the age of 20. Along with government and non-government buildings, it is also forbidden to take pictures of unauthorized crowds and women. In Uzbekistan, shaking hands is permissible only if the person is also a man. Shaking hands with women is not considered appropriate. Uzbek women also do not come in front of men outside their family. However, elderly women are seen selling bread and food items on the street. Over the centuries, the territory of what is now Uzbekistan has produced great scholars, poets, and writers whose heritage has enriched the general culture of humanity. The inventor of Arabic numerals and algebra, Al-Khwarizmi, belonged to Uzbekistan. World's first anthropologist, Al-Biruni, and the father of early modern medicine, Abu al-Sina, were also belong to Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is currently open for tourism, and all you need is a negative PCR test, issued no longer than 72 hours previously.
Justice under law. We haven't yet lived up to that promise, marginalized communities across our nation. I'm Faisal Gill. I saw how the color of your skin, so I went to law school because I wanted to fight to make the law work for all, because I wanted to give back, because Black lives matter, because we need to incarcerate less and educate more. Deserves justice.